Hi, my name is Tim Mathewson. I've been working on bikes for over 40 years, and I've always wanted to make sure that every bike gets ridden, and I hate to see a bike being thrown away. This is a bike that was thrown away. There are so many bikes out there that are thrown away. Huffys, Murrays, this Savoy, they're all basically the same. The gears and their brakes aren't really that great. The rims are steel and heavy, and they have a one-piece crank that's kind of heavy, and the gears really don't shift as well as other bikes. This one only has a double sprocket here, and so they're thrown away. But here's my cause. We want to save the Huffy. We want to save these bikes. All you have to do is take this bike and take the gears and brakes off, take the back wheel off, take the hub out, put another hub in there, and you have a one-speed coaster brake bike that's a nice bike to ride around. A lot of times the tires are okay, sometimes they're not. If you're going to go out and find one of these bikes, maybe you want to bring two of them home. I might need a better tire than this, but all this stuff, the wheel and everything seems okay, and my chain looks okay. Maybe my chain would be rusty. Maybe I'd need another bike for that. So grab a couple of bikes. You can always throw them back to the steel scrap or the junk where you found them, but grab a couple of bikes and we'll start our little project. The first thing, I want you to look at the bike and we'll see that the gears, we're going to take that off. We're going to take the gear off here. We're going to take the brake off. And we're going to take all this off. And it's not going to take much time. So I'm going to do that now. A lot of people have an adjustable wrench. I like a 15mm wrench. The adjustable will fit the front and the rear. Adjustable will also fit a lot of these nuts. You can come right on them. And you're just going to disconnect your cables first. Get all the cables out of the way. Just get them out of the way. Look, here's another one right here. This doesn't even look like the original. Someone fixed this with something else. Pull that out of the way. Keep that one here. If you have different tools, different sockets, you can use those. You can use any tools you want. It's just, the point is you don't need a lot of tools. You just need to know what you're doing. And you're just taking it apart. You're taking all the parts off that didn't work. Now you will need a chain tool, and you can buy an inexpensive chain tool that's smaller than this because you're going to have to shorten the chain. Now you can also have your bike shop do this, but you're going to have to take that chain off somehow. And you just push that pin through and take that off. And we'll just let that chain fall right to the ground. We're going to use that again. Now we're going to take that back wheel off. And that came right off. That's really nice. Now we're going to take this off. A lot of these bikes don't have the fancy Allen wrenches, but sometimes you need an Allen wrench. And there's nice little Y tools you can buy. And here's another one. But I'm trying to do this all with the crescent wrench just because it shows that you need minimal tools. I'm going to leave that seat on there. Now sometimes we leave the front brake on just for fun. We don't need it because it's a coaster brake. I'm going to leave it off this one because this is a black bike, which is really fancy. It's got a good paint job. A lot of people wouldn't think that's a good paint job, but it's protecting the metal. We just pull this stuff off. You take a rag, you can wipe it down. This was outside in the rain a little bit earlier. It's been outside a lot. Clean all that stuff off. And you're just making a nice little bike to ride because the bike is proud. There's no such thing as a bad bike. Only a sad bike if it's not ridden. And I won't apologize if I say that again during the video. Because that is the motto. And one of the tricks I learned is sometimes, not always, but sometimes your grip will come off if you loosen the brake lever and you use the brake lever to help force the grip off. And that makes it easier. Let's see if we get lucky on the other side too. There's nothing wrong with these bars. There's nothing wrong with the frame. Just because a wheel is steel, there's nothing wrong with it unless you try to stop it with a caliper brake. And then you have a rim that's so heavy and slick, and your brake pads just can't even grab it. Like even kids' bikes today are made with alloy rims because the softer metal lets the brake pad work better. And I think I'm going to need a Phillips or a screwdriver on that, which is another common screwdriver, Phillips head. Looks like we have a couple of clamps on here. The old one that broke off was just left on there. Every bike tells a story. It's been somewhere. It's been ridden. They tried. Whoever had it tried. Oh, that's an old screw on there. That's a different one there. This one's really hard. Sometimes you have things that are rusted. And here's a great case. This is really rusted, and that's really nasty. Oh, I can't get that one off. So we have a real life problem with that. And I can make decisions with that. If I want, I can try to move it. I can leave it there. I could take a hammer and chisel and get it off. I could take a hacksaw and I could cut it off.
We can call it a hook to hold your grocery bag.
A hook to hold your grocery bag. It's got a little bit of a motion there. Oh, I got it loose. Isn't that fun? We'll take that off. Sometimes you just move things around like that and they all come off. That hub is loose. Sometimes you might want to take the bearings apart and re-grease them if you want to go that far. If everything's turning, you can leave it as it is and just keep an eye on it. Or you can take the time to learn how to take those bearings and re-grease them. Bearings in here, bearings in here. But this is tight and it spins well. Look at that. It's a beautiful device. This is tight. It spins well. It's a beautiful device. This brake isn't so bad, but it's really not that strong. And with a junky lever on a steel rim, it's never going to do anyone any good. But on a kid's BMX bike, it can be used again. And now if you look at this frame just like that, in that short amount of time, we've taken something that would have no value, and now we have the foundation for a new bicycle. Now you have your back wheel and you have this freewheel on it. We're going to take that freewheel off, and we're going to undo all these spokes. And we need to go to the bike shop to have them take this off. And when we go to the bike shop, we're going to buy our coaster brake hub. And we'll be back with our coaster brake hub and our wheel. Here we go. Live.